They told us to grind. They told us sleep was optional, rest was weakness, and slowing down meant falling behind. They told us success belonged only to those willing to sacrifice everything for productivity. So we believed them. We set the alarms earlier, stayed up later, drank the caffeine, worked the weekends, answered emails at midnight, and convinced ourselves that exhaustion was just the price of ambition. At first, it felt powerful. Being busy made us feel important. Being tired made us feel valuable. Hustle culture wrapped itself in motivational quotes and viral success stories. No days off. Rise and grind. While you're sleeping, someone else is working. We repeated these lines like mantras, unaware that they were slowly draining us from the inside out. Somewhere along the way, rest became something we had to earn. Joy became something we postponed. Life became something that would begin later, after the promotion, after the business took off, after we finally made enough money to breathe. We told ourselves the suffering was temporary, that one day it would all be worth it. But the finish line kept moving. Burnout didn't arrive suddenly. It crept in quietly. It showed up as constant fatigue that sleep couldn't fix, as irritability over small things, as anxiety with no clear cause, as waking up already tired, as losing interest in things that once mattered, as staring at a screen, rereading the same line over and over, feeling guilty for not being productive enough. You started to feel like no matter how much you did, it was never enough. You achieved things you once dreamed of and felt nothing, no excitement, no pride, just emptiness. And that emptiness scared you. So instead of slowing down, you pushed harder. You worked longer hours, took on more responsibility, sacrificed more of yourself. You told yourself that burnout was a mindset problem, not a system problem. That if you optimized your routine, fixed your attitude, listened to the right podcast, read the right book, you'd get your drive back. You blamed yourself instead of the culture that taught you to ignore your limits. But your body didn't care about motivation. Your health began to crack. Headaches became normal. Sleep felt shallow. Your chest felt tight for no reason. Your memory slipped. Your patience thinned. Conversations felt like effort. Even time with people you loved started to feel draining. Rest made you anxious. Silence felt uncomfortable. Doing nothing felt wrong. Then came the guilt. Guilt for resting. Guilt for wanting more balance. Guilt for feeling burned out when others seemed to be thriving. You told yourself you should be grateful. You told yourself others had it worse. You told yourself to push through. What you didn't realize was that many of those thriving people were breaking too. They were just hiding it better. Behind the highlight reels, the hustle posts, the motivational content, millions of people were quietly unraveling. The pandemic didn't create burnout, it exposed it. People worked harder than ever and still lost stability. Still lost jobs. Still lost time with family. The promise that grinding would guarantee security was shattered. The culture began to crack. Quiet quitting wasn't laziness, it was survival. The great resignation wasn't entitlement, it was exhaustion finally being acknowledged. People weren't asking to do nothing. They were asking for boundaries, for respect, for time, for a life that didn't revolve entirely around work. Because humans were never meant to live like machines. We are not designed to be on all the time. Creativity collapses under constant pressure. Motivation disappears when survival mode becomes permanent. Purpose fades when every moment is measured by output. A life built entirely around productivity eventually becomes empty. For many people, the collapse of hustle culture felt terrifying. Because when productivity becomes your identity, slowing down feels like losing yourself. If you're not constantly achieving, who are you? If you stop, will you be left behind? Will you become irrelevant? Those fears kept people trapped long after their bodies were begging them to rest. But on the other side of that fear, something unexpected began to appear. People started remembering who they were before burnout. Before everything became a metric, they remembered what it felt like to wake up without dread, to enjoy moments without rushing through them, to have conversations without watching the clock, to rest without guilt. They realized life wasn't meant to be endured until retirement. It was meant to be lived now. Ambition didn't disappear, it evolved. The grind didn't die, it lost its power. People began redefining success, not as constant busyness, but as sustainability, not as status, but as peace, not as working more, but as living better. The new form of success isn't bragging about long hours. It's having energy left at the end of the day. It's protecting your mental health. It's choosing boundaries over burnout. It's saying no without explaining yourself. It's building progress that doesn't destroy you. The truth is, rest isn't a reward for finishing the work. Rest is what makes meaningful work possible in the first place. You don't need to earn your humanity. You don't need to justify your exhaustion. You don't need to sacrifice your health to prove your worth. Burnout was never a personal failure. It was your body telling the truth in a culture that refused to listen. And the collapse of hustle culture isn't the end of ambition. It's the beginning of a healthier one. One where success includes peace. One where productivity doesn't replace purpose. One where your life is bigger than your output. If you're tired, truly tired, that doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've been strong for too long. And maybe this moment isn't asking you to push harder. Maybe it's asking you to choose differently. Because the world doesn't need more burned out achievers. It needs whole, present, alive people. If this story resonated with you, like this video. If it put words to something you've been feeling, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below and tell us, have you felt burnout too?
Kindly subscribe to Chronicles of Colors for more transformative and inspiring stories.